Hey,
Oh, well, look who's here.
I don't see his picture.
you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but
Yes,
I can't see you.
Okay,
he-
hold on one sec.
he's nude. Leave him alone.
He's
So,
nude?
Oh,
no.
the nude.
There he is.
There he is. Oh
The
my God.
famous AJ.
Famous. Swishy.
Oh, I have all sorts of questions for you.
I think he does for you as
I
well.
want to know who the brainchild is of the cookie jar.
Hey,
It's all of us.
really, me.
uh,
Uh, I am the brains behind all this. So
I figured.
I give them some credit.
So you're sort of the quasi producer. That's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, Romaine gave me that title, executive producer, and I was like, I don't even know what that means. So,
It means
Yeah.
you're the guy that has to make it happen. Rafi just comes in and it looks pretty.
Well, I do a lot of producing as well, the imaging, and we've worked on intros together and everything.
I love how
So
I love how he just is just like, well, I do this. He really needs.
somebody has to give me credit. So tonight we have a new DJ in the house, DJ R. Since Jen's out,
Oh, that's right.
our
We have a new
initials,
name now.
DJ R.
All right.
Spinning some beats.
Oh my god.
So both of you are in Jersey, I think, right?
Yeah.
Where are
Okay.
you at?
The Jersey boys. I'm in New York.
I know you're in New York. I'm talking to AJ.
He's in New Jersey.
I live in the same town as Romaine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her walking around? Or
Walk
I
around.
guess it's a big town.
It's not that small.
She lives on like the outskirts of it. She's in like the boondocks kind of. She's more of like the suburbs and stuff like that.
I don't think I've ever been to her place.
Oh no, it's nice.
The closest I got to her place was going to see the house that is again on the market. That was the ghost house.
Oh, is that close to her?
Yeah,
Where we went?
somewhere near her. I don't know exactly where. I think it's
Oh.
right down the street.
Oh.
I mean, there's definitely some houses here that are haunted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at houses.
Do you believe in that stuff?
Oh hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Why do you
seen
believe in
stuff.
that? Have you seen a
he's-
ghost?
Yeah.
Uh, we talked about this kind of stuff on the Meet the Interns when we did.
Right.
So like I've had some. There was one house that my aunt owned. It was a two-family that we lived in, and there was always weird shit happening. Like a lot. I watched my guitar literally flip from off the bed, like go right up against the wall. So I was just like, all right, I'm done.
Does somebody not like you to be playing music that you used to know?
I don't know, man. It was weird because like we talked about this on the interns that my aunt held a séance and it backfired completely and she got really really sick. And this is a woman who was like she was like the perfect picture of health. Very like she ate right, she did everything, and then after she did the séance, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like I mean, like, look, anything could be a coincidence, really, if you think about it. But the way that it all kind of went down, it was, yeah, it was a little crazy.
That's creepy. Did she make it? Was she able to survive?
Oh no, she has. I mean,
She's good. Okay.
it was just it's after like surviving something like that, it was very crazy for her. You know.
I've never seen anything like that happen. Like
We
I keep-
tried. Remember
yeah,
we tried?
We tried, and my partner Pat and I have been. We go to different places that are like supposedly haunted, and we try and get the ghost to want to do something. Nothing. I don't know if I believe it anymore.
Sometimes,
Started
sometimes
to
you can't.
BS.
Sometimes you can't force it, Darren.
I
Gotta-
thought surely if the ghost is, maybe homophobic and he sees two men in his room and he might
my
want to do
God.
something.
You know what? It actually reminds me. If you ever saw a show like A Haunting, it was like on the channel Destiny.
Yeah.
America.
Yep.
So there was this one episode where this guy like he starts dating this other dude and he invites him to move in with him after like 2 weeks of knowing each other. And
Oh, that's quick.
yeah, but the thing is like he knew that his house was haunted in it, but once he had his boyfriend move in, the ghost became very homophobic. Like they had sessions of the ghost saying the most homophobic like
What?
shit. I was like, wow. I mean, but that's why I always make that joke. Like, if I were to ever, if my wife were to die, I would just be like an exorcist, and I would just go into like houses and shit. And I said, like, it's gonna be between me and the ghost, and I'm just gonna drop my pants and just start beating it in the. One of us has to leave, and it's more than likely it's gonna probably be the ghost. You know.
How long you been married?
I've been with my wife now 10 years, and we're coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're coming up on our 1-year wedding anniversary. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we were
1-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, but we've been together 10 years though, so it's kind of fun.
I've never heard the story exactly about how you got the name Swishy.
Okay.
What?
There's so many variations of it as well.
There really are. How is my mic? Does this sound okay?
Oh, you sound great.
Okay, I wasn't.
You sometimes you go in and out, but you're okay.
All right. Is this better?
That's better.
Okay. You know what? There we go. Adjusting the mic.
That's much better.
Quickly about the ghost.
Such a sexy voice you have.
He does, and he hams it up on the show too sometimes.
Not really.
Even more sultry, a little deeper. He goes a little deeper.
Yeah, you could.
That's for the game though.
Yes, but really quick about the ghost. I thought you were going to say one of the ghosts got jealous of the boyfriend that when he moved in. I thought maybe he was in love with the guy.
No.
Imagine.
I mean, like, I love those haunting shows. Like, I love paranormal stuff. Like, that is my thing. Like, I absolutely love it. But seeing like shows like A Haunting and kind of seeing like how they're all depicted and stuff like that, like, I feel like that should be Rafi's bread and butter right there. Like,
you think?
Being an actor in one of those things, or just even being an actor for like unsolved mysteries, because Matthew McConaughey was on an episode of Mysteries. Oh yeah, he was the guy who got shot or stabbed in front of some lady's house and his shirt magically fucking opened.
Yeah.
Or one of the ghosts. I could be one of the ghosts. The sexy ghost.
Yeah, no, but we'll go back to so Swishy, the way it came about, Romaine says I'm a little bit gay.
What makes her say that?
Because I'll hit on JB when he's at the studio. Jonathan Valdez, like, I'll just fucking go up and I'll start grabbing their asses and shit like that.
Really?
Oh hell yeah! Rafi knows.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh yeah, Rafi knows.
Darren, you got to go to the studio more often.
Is this a thing with straight guys, or is it just you?
I don't know. Like,
it's a little swishy.
I am so swishy. I don't know. It's weird because I grew up like just me and my friends, man. We used to say stupid, silly shit. And one of the things was like I used to tell my friend, like, maybe your breath stinks. Maybe, if you put the fucking toothpaste on your dad's dick,
that's nice.
And that'll entice you to brush your teeth. And he's like, well, you got to it first. And I was like, yeah, dude, my breath's minty fresh. Smell.
That's just not right.
I mean, we would say these jokes, but like, and then we would just pretend like we would slap ass and shit like that. And we'd just be like, oh, come here, my future husband. And just very silly shit. I mean, I'm incredibly comfortable with my sexuality to just go up and grab Jonathan Valdez's beautiful, voluptuous ass.
I've had the exact opposite experience. One of my best friends, and when I was in high school into college, he didn't know I was gay. And I came out to him, sort of. And he punched me across the face, and that was the last I talked to him.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, relax a little bit.
No,
unbelievable.
That's a little crazy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Anyway, maybe it was because I was hitting on him.
That'll do it. I mean, I've gotten hit on by like a couple of gay guys. I mean, there's only been one dude who ever really crossed the line, but for the most part, yeah. I'm always fine with it.
Pretty harmless, right? Pretty harmless.
That one dude kind of was just like, I remember I was playing in this band and we were at a party, and the dude was really good friends with the singer's wife. And he came up to me and he was like, "You're thick. I could handle you." And he just like brushed his hand down. And I was like, "I don't think you can."
Oh, brother.
Yeah, I mean, but then like the next day he like came in and he told everyone, he was just like, "Oh my God, last night I was just jerking off to AJ, like just me sucking his dick and just taking it." And I was like,
wow.
And he had no idea that I was like in the back of the room, like listening to this. I was like, "What? Okay." Like, all right. But no, I was honored. I was just like, all right, cool. Like, you know, someone else finds me attractive.
So I got another question for you. Back to the haunting stuff.
Yes.
How about a medium? Have you ever been to a medium?
Yes, I was
And
actually.
what happened?
She told me some weird, crazy shit. See, the funniest
Who
thing,
was it?
it was this woman, Yolanda.
Okay.
She was actually, so me and my cousin were born on the same day, just a year apart, right? She's a year older than me. And she's very much, she at the time, she was very much into like, you know, psychics and readings and spirits and all that other stuff. So she wanted me to meet Yolanda. And I meet Yolanda and she's just like, oh my God, sweetie, like Lucy walks with you. And I was like, what the fuck is Lucy? What the fuck is that shit? And she's like, oh, I call him Lucy. You can call him Lucifer. And I was like, what the
What?
yeah. And she was just like, he doesn't like what you've become in this life. In the past life, you were such a good, loyal soldier. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
No, she needs to come up with, come on, current names or something.
I mean, she definitely said some weird shit. I mean, because like at the end of the night, I was like, you know, I had this crazy dream about this girl in the yellow dress. She's like, I've been waiting for you to say something. Like she's been here all night just waiting for you to acknowledge her. And I'm just like, oh Jesus. You know? And I mean, but like a lot of the stuff that Yolanda had predicted for me just did not happen. So a lot of it, I was just like, okay, like you are so wrong, you know.
Pat and I bought a place in Gettysburg, outside of Gettysburg, because we liked sort of that area, and we liked the paranormal stuff, and we thought that we were going to increase our profits on the land that we purchased because they were going to build a casino in Gettysburg, and the property values were going to be increased. Yeah. No, they didn't build it. They didn't build the casino, and all the property values dropped. Yeah. It's out just outside of Gettysburg, but we kind of earned into the paranormal stuff too. And I told this story once before. I don't think Rafi heard it, but I had my best friend. He died of AIDS. This goes back maybe 15 years ago, and we let his boyfriend move in with us. He was supposed to stay about 6 months. Turned out to be about 6 years. But his name is Brad, and about a year after after he passed, I was looking into mediums, like who is a reputable medium. So I found a woman by the name of Shelley Peck in Long Island, not the Long Island medium. And we went. I called and I hid my phone number at the star 67 or whatever it is, not to show the number. And I said, "This is Darren," and I wanted to book a time with her, and I wanted to bring one other person with me. And she said, "Okay." Booked the time. She said, "Who are you bringing with you?" And I said, "A friend of mine." And she said, "A friend of yours?" And then she said, "I just want you to be aware that if you're seeking a friend, then it's usually family members that come through. I don't want you to be disappointed," because two friends were coming together. And I said, "That's fine." So another month goes by. We drive into Long Island. We get to her house, and she opens the door. She's illegally blind, so she can't really see well. And she sits down. She has to come in. She says how it works. She explains how it works for her, that she has a guide who communicates with her to the beyond. So she says the Lord's Prayer. And then minutes later, she says, "There's a larger male presence here whose initials begin with A.L. And she said she believes it's one of your grandfathers, and he's just here to acknowledge his presence because he knows that you're seeking somebody else." So I thought, well, that's like a guess. My grandfather's name was Arthur Lewis Nye. So then she goes on to another guy, and she said, "There's another male presence here, a younger man, and he passed about 6 months ago." And she said something about him, and I didn't know who it was. It didn't ring a bell. Turns out after the reading, about 6 months after, I found out that my friend from Nevada had died. He died of AIDS also. Yeah. So something that she said was probably related to him. But then she moved on to the next person. She says, "There's another male presence here, and he died either 12 months ago or 12 days ago in the hospital of a blood disease, either leukemia or AIDS." And she got that okay because my friend died a year ago at the time when we went to go see her in the hospital, and he died of AIDS. So we weren't telling her anything. We were just listening to her. We didn't have anything. We weren't wearing anything. I didn't give her any information up front. So then she says, okay, he's showing me sticky candy in a bowl. So I thought, yeah, sure, lots of people have candy bowls in their living room, but he used to always keep M&Ms in a glass bowl. Then she said, in the hospital, he was brought sticky candy, like sticky. I didn't know what was brought to him in the hospital. I didn't bring him candy. And Brad said that he used to bring gummy bears to the hospital because he liked gummy bears. Then she said she was seeing grocery bags. And the way I identified that is I worked with him at a supermarket for years. The way Brad identified with it is that he used to buy him his groceries toward the end. So everybody's got their own interpretation of things. But then she says, I'd like to know who I'm talking to, so give me a minute to get his name. So she sat there about 30 seconds, and she said, Michael wants to say hello. And when she said his name, I just about shit my pants because, like, she just came up with his name. Wow. It's like, how? I mean, I could feel my hair standing on end when she said that. And then she says, there's another name that she's getting, and she said it's the name Owen. She said, do you know an Owen? And I said, well, I know an Owens with an S on the end, but he's not dead yet. And she said, well, this is Michael's way of acknowledging who this Owens is. And she said, you introduced Michael to this person at an Irish parade. And I thought, holy fuck. I introduced Pat, my partner, to Michael at an Irish parade like years ago. Then she says there were two things put in his coffin. She said one thing contained writing, which is common. People might put cards or something, but she said it was handwritten notes. And the other thing she said was a model, or she didn't say a model, she said a box. And she held up her fingers about this size. She didn't know what it was. And Brad and I were looking at each other. We didn't know what was in his coffin because we didn't put anything in his coffin. So we asked his father after we got done with all this, did you put anything in his coffin? And he said, yeah, he put two things in his coffin. One was a TV guide containing the notes from Brad and Michael because they used to always take notes and make fun of the TV shows they were on. And the other thing was a little plastic model of a computer monitor about this size because Michael was always on the computer. So was she communicating with Michael from the beyond, or was this all her reading our minds? Well, it couldn't have been reading our minds because we didn't know what was in his coffin.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the psychic thing, I don't know, that kind of throws everyone off for a loop because the psychic one time told my mom that she was going to meet somebody like tall, dark, and handsome, have 7 kids, and be very, very rich.
This is before she got married, right?
None of that shit happened. No, this is after she got married.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she was just like, are you sure?
Yeah.
My mom only had 3, so, stopped, I guess, halfway through. And her husband is not tall or dark. So, my stepdad is like the palest of pale.
Maybe there's hope for her in the future.
I don't think so.
Maybe she's gonna divorce and move on to the next guy.
Yeah, and the next guy has like 4 kids or something. Already.
Well, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, a psychic one time told my mom, she was like, "Your oldest child is gonna die." And she was like,
"Oh man, that's not right."
Oh, I mean, but they said that like your son is gonna die at the age of 19, and then they were like, no, 21, no, 25, no, 27. They're gonna die at 27, and then, but the lady also kind of said, which was weird because this psychic said the same thing about like what Yolanda did, which was like, when your oldest son, because my mom used to work at this poultry market. And this psychic lady used to come in and she just used to give like my mom readings and stuff. She never paid, my mom never paid her. So that's why maybe like some of the shit was just off completely because it was fake. But this lady, like, I briefly walked in and walked out, and the lady's like, your son never walks alone. Okay. When he walks, there's somebody with him. Okay. And I just want you to know that. And my mom was just like, didn't you just say he was going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to one psychic that she said it was a group thing, and it was a time where Pat and I were sort of splitting up, and when she read me, it was in private. She took each person to a different room, and she says, "Oh my gosh, I see AIDS all around you," and she said, "Do you have AIDS?" And I said, "No." And then she said, "Well, maybe it's Epstein-Barr syndrome. Have you had Epstein-Barr syndrome?" And I said, "No, not that I'm aware of." Mono or something. And I don't know. That just when a psychic tells you certain things, and it's really a sort of a something that they should be careful about, I just lose respect for them. You know,
I agree. I mean, who the hell wants to hear that? Like, hey, your kid's gonna.
that your kid's gonna die. No, even if I had that ability and I thought that, I would not tell somebody that.
Yeah, no. I mean, but like, I just kind of feel like, because I've watched some of those shows where they try to debunk psychics.
Yeah.
They go off of like tells from your body,
Yeah.
like, oh, does the letter B mean something to you? And if you jump, they're like, oh, okay. So they it's like a big rabbit hole almost.
That's why I was impressed with Shelley Peck, because she just came out with stuff like names and situations that I don't know how she would have known that stuff. It's bizarre.
No. I mean, there is a psychic. There's some psychic studio has like their own space right near the studio. I was telling Romain, I was like, yeah, we should just go in there one day.
Yeah, you should. That'd be great radio.
Yeah.
She doesn't like gimmicky stuff like that though, or Derek doesn't.
No, Derek doesn't. Derek,
yeah.
She told me, she's like, Derek, like, because they've had psychics before. She said she's had a psychic on the show, but like Derek doesn't like that kind of stuff. So I've
never heard a psychic on their show.
Might have been in like the old facility.
Oh, right.
But we should get a psychic.
We just had Dr. Sniffer.
It's not a sniffer.
Doctor who?
Dr. Muck Sniffles. Well, he doesn't just sniff.
What? Well, who is that?
Yeah, it was it was Rafi's guest, so you can
he's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
A respectable man.
Does he play one on a webcast somewhere?
No. He's not a doctor on an app.
He's a scientist.
You know what? It's weird because I was listening.
He's a doctor. He's a scientist. He's everything.
He's something, because I have to send the raw audio to the guy, so I guess he can promote it or whatnot. But I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he never really listed, like, he's like, I'm a doctor of sense and all this other stuff.
Perception and sense. And
like, he had a lot of titles. Like, this guy wore a lot of hats. So I was like, all right. No. But yeah, the guy just, like, he goes around sniffing shit. I goes, that's the way I kind of.
No, he doesn't sniff stuff. He, like, talks
sort
about, like odor.
Biden goes around sniffing hair, is what you're trying to say.
Well, how people are attracted to certain people's odors, and how the uglier you are, the stinkier you are, apparently. And when
some people are into that, yes, I understand.
And when you're a baby, you can't, like, right? He was saying that there's they can't tell what scent is.
Yeah. So
like,
the fact is, like, he gave like two examples, and one of them was that this woman hated roses. Like, she hated the smell of roses because she had never smelled a rose in her life until somebody brought roses at her mother's funeral.
So she associated it with that.
With death.
Yeah, so she's like,
she didn't like it.
Smell disgusting, which, because that's what she associates it with.
Yeah.
Saying that with babies, they don't associate the smell of shit with something bad. Like, because they don't.
Well, I guess not. It's just they don't know anything at that point.
But if you give them something sweet, they'll like that. And then versus something spicy, but not all spicy is bad. Not all sweet is
something sweet, like their mother's breast milk or something, or
like no, like jam. I guess.
Did you ever taste breast milk?
I don't remember how it tastes like.
Well, if you had a girlfriend, you could taste her breast milk. If she was pregnant, I guess.
Oh.
Have you tasted breast milk, Swishy?
No. Not yet.
I've heard that it's disgusting. That's what made me think of it.
I'm sure it's very sour.
Oh my god!
With a touch of sugar, I don't know.
So, AJ, if your wife ever gets pregnant and you have a kid, now you got to try it. Just a little swig.
Honestly, like, I've never had any desire to just be like, oh, titty milk. All right, cool.
Really? I have. No, why?
I mean, it makes sense. We should drink that milk versus a cow. Like, cow's not our mother. You know what I mean?
I love milk. But I don't think I've drinking my mom's breast when I'm drinking it.
I know. All day. Like, I hate 2% milk, skim milk, anything that's watered down, because I feel like I can taste the water. Like, I don't know. Like, we should have really talked to that sniffer guy, like, a little
different types of milk.
About different types of milk, because I swear to God, like, I think one time I was reading the Dasani water.
Add sodium.
It has sodium in it, and I swear to God, at the moment I read that, I was like, I started tasting the
Yeah,
salt.
it's
I think
psychological.
Rafi mentioned that on a previous episode, and I'm like,
Psychological.
oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, no, and I haven't drank Dasani water in years. Like honestly, since I was in college, I have not drank Dasani.
I think I had it one time. Now I kind of want to try it just to see if I can taste the salt.
I just like that's honestly what I do now. I'm like, no, I can't.
Maybe the salt is to cover up the disgusting stuff that's in the bottled water. Where's Rafi going?
He just typed in. He's like, getting my charger, boys.
Oh.
Oh my God! You'd think he would be prepared.
So do you give Rafi a hard time about his acting career? That just seems like it's I don't know.
I mean, when it comes to his acting career, it's hard because I have a cousin who was an actor as well. I mean, and he went out to LA and stuff like that, and it is fucking brutal. Like it really. Yeah. I was a musician, so touring and stuff like that, like. You know, like friends of ours that were in bands, they had gotten signed, and like our band had gotten signed, but it really is. It's just luck.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's luck, or maybe who you're sucking, to get a certain gig.
I mean, like, yeah, come on. But I think like if the opportunity really arose and some dude was just like, listen, you want this part, you got to suck this D. I think Rafi would just be like,
exactly.
I mean,
okay, bring it on.
Like, hashtag no me too. Hashtag me first.
Oh, Rafi.
Oh, boys.
Rafi, I'm producing a film. Would you like to audition for it?
Send me the script. We'll see.
Just come and audition. That's all you got to do.
We make the joke all the time that it doesn't take much to get Rafi to come to your house. Just say you're holding auditions in your basement.
Exactly. I'll be right there.
I've never auditioned in a basement.
So. Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. Never.
I guarantee, like, his life is so.
That's not legit. Like, you go to a studio, but now it's all self tapes anyway, so it doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, dude. But every one of your self tapes, it's like, oh, I'm not wearing a shirt
because that's what the role is.
Why don't you just audition for something that has a shirt?
I have.
Yeah, and then you're like, do we need this with a shirt? Hold on.
Yeah,
I feel better.
Where's the writer? Let's change this.
Rafi, like, even into the studio, I like, there are times that there's a skit that we're going to be filming at some point for Derek and Romaine, and Rafi is like, I'm ready, like I have oil.
Oh my God.
Coconut oil.
Now I want to know what the skit is.
The coconut oil that Monotone Mark sent.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait because it's gonna get filmed.
It's been in the works for months, so hopefully eventually.
Yeah, it's something that Romaine came up with, and we were just like, oh God, yeah, we're totally doing this.
Oh, you had come up with it. You about the movie, what Ghost? Remember the pottery?
Oh, yeah. No, that's
okay.
I'm talking about
what's
filming for Derek and Romaine.
Oh, I don't know what that is then.
Hey, you know, I'm just not telling you.
Okay,
AJ,
Romaine came up with it. I don't remember.
You and I have had the same idea also. You in one of the Cookie episodes I listened to, you were talking about something to do with filming or giving away Rafi on a date, like a contest of some sort.
Oh, raffling me off, yeah.
Yes.
So
I think you need to make that happen.
For the cruise, get me on a cruise.
So here's the funny thing. So when we first started our internship a year ago, I told Romaine, like, hey, listen, we could totally raffle off Rafi. And I think the listeners will really go for it. You know, he's got such a positive kind of like, he's got like Rafi does have a little fan base in the monks.
Yeah.
World.
Growing
Mark?
Day by day. Mark and the friends. Mark and friends.
At this point, it's plateaued. Let it go. Okay. I'm such a dick to him. I love it. But I've told Romaine, I'm like, listen, if we raffle off Rafi, I think it would be great. Like, we can do it could build up money for the internship program. And she has said no several times.
She said no. Why does she say no?
She thinks that Rafi will get murdered.
Oh, come on. He's not going to get murdered. Some nice guy like Mark is going to be the high bidder, and he's going to take him out on his date, even though he's already had a date with him.
Mark, I think, would be the only bidder. Like, Mark would come out swinging like $50,000.
Oh, no, he would have the bids.
50.
Right, Rafi?
There'll be others, probably not as high as Mark, but yeah, Mark will be the highest bidder, I'm sure.
Mark would definitely be the highest.
What do you think it would go for, Rafi? What's a high bid for you?
I'm priceless.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
What do you think you would go for?
Monotone Mark?
$20?
No, Monotone Mark. I think AJ's about in the ballpark, about 50
No,
grand.
no, dude, he's asking you how much you think you would go for on the raffle.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You said like 50 grand, no?
Yeah, I said Monotone Mark would probably throw out 50,000, but your number, how much do you think you would fetch for on a raffle?
I don't know, at least 100 grand, probably.
Did you just say you think Mark would pay a 50,000?
Oh, hell yeah, for one night with coffee?
Is this guy like loaded or what?
No,
I mean, he's comfortable. He's comfortable.
Wow.
What I mean, though, all right. So, is it really like is it prostitution if we raffled you off and then grand prize is that they get inside of you?
I don't think that. I think
no.
that's a little going a little too far, maybe.
Yeah, that's a little too far. It's just a date.
But I mean, like just a date where you could like film it. That would be ideal.
Okay, yeah, he's going for like maybe $50, $150.
Oh, I think you'd get more if it was for like a good cause.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like for a good cause, like the internship program.
$1,000.
No.
I think you get $1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
Maybe 3,000, maybe 5.
And then the other listeners will put their bids, and it'll just keep adding up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
So AJ, you need to go on one of the cruises and be the guy that performs the auction.
Oh my God, I would do that in a heartbeat.
You would be good at it.
And starting at bidding at $100.
I really want to say something like, okay, now look at this boy's keister, Rafi, turn around.
Turn around, flex, bend over, come here.
Because it would have to be done. Maybe it's better to do it on the show though, because then you have access to more people. But I don't know how many people would be live bidding, listening to this show, because a lot of people do it like later on.
The time shifters.
So maybe doing it on a cruise might be a good idea, because at least you get a couple hundred people there.
I think that would be fun. I mean, the thing is, it's getting us to the cruise. I think that's our.
Yeah.
I mean, those cruises are pricey, but I mean, like Romaine tells me how much fun they are. Like,
one of the first cruises that we went on with them, they had Cabana Boys, so they got a free cruise for working the cruise. But I think that was like pre-COVID when they had more people going. So I don't know whatever happened to the Cabana Boys. Maybe in the future.
We'll have to bring it back.
That's right.
She did mention that one time. She was like, oh, Rafi could possibly be a Cabana Boy. And I made the mistake of telling Rafi, I'm like, oh, dude, if they ever do a cruise, you could be a Cabana Boy.
And I've been waiting. Where's the application?
Oh, my God. But
what about AJ?
AJ, too.
Rafi has not shut the fuck up about this.
Both of us.
Every cruise, he's like, hey, do they need a Cabana Boy? Like, I'm free.
And she's always said no. Ready. She hasn't said yes. That's too bad, Rafi.
No, I haven't asked her yet, actually.
I think at some point they might do the Cabana Boy thing again. But I mean, because I know that they're doing their open house again in October for the Lobsters and Leaves cruise. So maybe this might be one that we might raffle off Rafi.
Maybe that's a good idea. Do it during the tour.
Yeah.
Set a time.
Listen, he went
5 p.m. before dinner. You're gonna auction off Rafi.
Get the coconut oil ready.
You can have the date that night. We're gonna film you.
Well, all right. So when he did the open house, Rafi was just like, "Look, we could put up a sign," because Rafi really was just like, "Where can I be that the listeners can come and meet me and get my autograph?" And I was like, "What?"
I had cookies. I gave cookies to everybody.
So how many people asked for your autograph during the last?
I wasn't promoting that, but they took my cookies actually.
What about the autograph?
No.
No, I gave more than that.
Yeah, no, he went around. Honestly, it was huge publicity because people from that open house, people actually did check us out because of that.
That's good.
So I mean,
more to come.
Yeah.
How are things going? Like, do you republish on a bunch of these other
other
sites? Yeah,
soon.
Podcast sites.
Soon. We're actually working with we've got interns that are actually going to be working with us on our show to set up the Libsyn account. So
yeah,
we're going to be doing that probably in the next we're going to be setting that up this week, and probably in the next few weeks we're going to be dropping episodes on like Spotify, Apple, and like those are the half-hour episodes.
Who's going to take care of those? I mean, who's going to do all that work?
Who do you think?
You.
Derek.
All right, in all honesty, do you
Derek.
think this boy does anything on the back end? Like on the
And he could, because he on his resume he has he's an audio engineer, but he doesn't want to do anything.
Oh,
He's
I do
too
a lot.
popular for that. He's got the good looks. He brings on the people.
Rafi is, I think when it came to like audio engineering, I think Rafi knew like where his strengths were, and that was more of like creating jingles and like because he did an
Well,
incredible.
I love sound design,
Yeah.
editing, commercials, producing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's done some fun stuff with that. I mean, but as far as like the harder shit, running the board.
I
And,
don't mind. I used to run the board all the time. That was fine.
yeah,
Yeah, when I was gonna come into the studio with Jennifer, I said
Yeah.
to Rafi, can you run the board for us? And he's like, what?
No, he doesn't want to. There was one episode I was out for the cookie jar, and I was like, listen, don't rely on intern Andrew. He's got shit that he's got to do. And what did Rafi do? He went and got intern Andrew to run the fucking board.
That's exactly
Well,
what he
it's
said.
just-
He said something about, we can get AJ to run the board. And I'm like, get AJ to run the. I can't afford to pay anybody. It's not gonna come in for us.
No, it's just distracting sometimes. I've done it before, but like you can't really like fully commit to the episode when you're doing both. So that's the only reason.
Yeah, no, because hold on a second, dude. Because when you were doing the board for DNR, you were supposed to be paying attention to the board, and there were so many times, like I remember watching a caster video that you were paying attention to what was being said, and then you would be late on the button bar, like for critter.
Well, that was at the beginning.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but it is one of those things that you kind of you get like I guess involved in the conversation a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I would participate too. When I got more comfortable, I would talk on the show and be more responsive and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You're
that-
both very
I mean,
good on the air. I mean, the cookie jar is pretty good too. I was pleasantly surprised when I heard the what was it, 4 of you together?
Three of us, yeah.
3 of us? I thought there were 4.
No.
We've had other, like we've had intern on Andrew sometimes on it, and
Yeah,
other people, but it's usually us.
he sits in every once in a while just to say what's up, and I mean it's fun to pick on him, but it's the cookie jar is Jocelyn, AJ, and Rafi.
And how about
Jar.
when you said Andrew? Is that the current intern that's on their show?
Yeah.
He's not intern anymore.
He's not an intern anymore?
No. He actually did get hired with DNR.
Wait, is this the guy that nobody can ever hear?
Yes.
Oh my god, he got hired?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can never hear that guy.
Dude, don't even.
Romaine loves him, and now he's just
How
running
do
the
you
board.
how do you keep him on mic and nobody can ever hear him? He's like,
You know what, dude? I guess this is the opportunity to talk shit. I honestly think Andrew is a sweet guy, and I love him to death. But he went to the same school as Romaine, so I think she has a really big soft spot for him because
they're alma mater or whatever.
I mean, but Andrew is like just a sweetheart of a guy. Even though on Wednesday they were Derek and Romaine were yelling at him on the show.
They were yelling at him?
Oh my god, because he fucked up. Derek pressed something on his iPad, and Andrew's just leaning back on the chair, and then they're like looking at him because it's so low and he wasn't adjusting the faders. So they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like it was the funniest shit ever. If you go back,
I didn't hear that one. I have to listen to
Yeah.
that one.
the Wednesday show, they were
I
like,
remember.
When I listened, it's like usually about 30 minutes on my drive home, and that's about it.
yeah. No, but they were. Andrew, like I said, he's a good dude. He comes up with some real fun stuff, like especially with imaging and stuff like that. So.
But why doesn't somebody coach him to how to project your voice? I mean, that's such a simple thing that he seems like he should be able to learn.
Andrew speaks very he has a very soft spoken voice, and the only time he ever talks louder is when we're giving him shit. And he's like, "Oh, fuck you guys." Because I fuck with him a lot. I'm always telling him tuck in your shirt, have some fucking pride, just horrible stuff. And I've been threatening to stab him. I mean, that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been threatening to stab him because he keeps coming in and he's just like, "Can I run the board, Derek?" And Derek keeps fucking doing it, and I'm just
Yeah. So he's just running the board every time, and he brings his bicycle, takes some space. AJ calls him Winnie the Pooh.
I do. I call him Winnie the Pooh.
Rafi, when was the last time you were on the DNR show?
When Romaine was away, I was on with Swishy and Derek.
Oh,
Couple, like,
which
few
episode was
weeks.
that?
Vaginal placeholder.
No.
It was that one, wasn't it?
No, that was Andrew.
Oh, I thought it was on. I don't know. This is the last couple of fan favorites. I was
No,
on there.
you're not on the fan favorites.
Yeah. South American penis snake. Yes.
That one.
It Takes Two. There's a whole bunch.
Not the recent one. The recent ones were not.
I didn't say that was a fan favorite, but the recent one was when Romaine was away, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like.
I was on 2 of them. It was a Tuesday and a Thursday because I couldn't make the Wednesday episode.
Yeah.
What happened on Friday? Did they plan to have off or?
On Thursday? Oh, you mean Thursday? No, Romaine.
Or Thursday.
Yeah, Romaine actually had tickets to go to a concert.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was texting Derek about the website because
It was down.
Yeah, that was a whole story. Because I told Derek 2 years ago, switch out the theme. A theme is what you apply to the website to give it a look and feel because the theme was no longer supported by Woo themes. I said you got to get something new that's supported. Do you think he wanted to do it? No.
No.
So this is what happened. The theme was hacked, and then we had to clean up this, or I had to clean up the site twice. And,
so you had to take care of it.
I'm the guy that took care of it.
Oh,
now it's sitting unorganized because
he said Darren. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I know a Darren, but it was you.
He doesn't have time to get it looking right, and he doesn't have staff on board that knows how to do it. I said, why don't you hire a Kenemy just for like an hour, and she could have it looking like DNR Studios. But I guess he wants a new guy to learn Noir.
Yeah.
So it's in his plate to make it look good. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. He's got 5 tech interns.
One of them's
that's
bound to
crazy.
do it.
No.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Oh man. So where is Jen?
Mexico.
Jen's
working.
Jen's in another planet or another plane of existence right now, I think. She takes so many trips. She takes business trips combined with pleasure trips because she's got this whole liquor business that they're trying to promote. So they're in Mexico all the time, and they combine the business stuff with the pleasure.
Which I just shot a commercial for their tequila. We'll talk about it.
What?
Over the weekend.
Tell me, no, I want to hear now. What happened?
I went to Jersey, to Montclair. We shot at a restaurant. I was the bartender and one of the guys in the thing.
No shit. Who shot it?
So they were great. They had a red camera. I don't know, people she hired. I don't know who they were. Yeah, it was great.
I want to see it. Do you have it available somewhere?
Well, it's not out yet, but when it's out, I'm sure she'll send us the link or whatever.
Wow.
So it was fun. Then we ate it. Then we ate at the restaurant. It was amazing seafood and just a lot of
how come I wasn't invited?
Because you were part of the crew.
Well,
I didn't get invited.
I'm surprised she didn't ask Darren to be like, "Hey,
exactly.
One of the main supporters of my business."
Yeah.
Virtual, just like,
thanks, Jen.
Well, in 2 weeks you'll have to bring that up to her.
Wow.
I will.
Friendship.
Friendship.
Yes, Jen.
Tough these days.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, now Rafi's evolving from being an actor on an app to an actor.
Hey, at least he's getting somewhere. Did she pay you for this?
Actor out of the app. Yeah, she gave me some compensation, and we got to eat and drink and everything. It was great.
So she bought you dinner.
Compensation.
No, besides compensation, we got to eat, I said, and drink. It was great at the restaurant.
Maybe she would have introduced you to somebody that would have done something for you. That time you were at that restaurant with a group of people, and some of them were into the entertainment industry.
Yeah, well, I networked with the DP. I gave him, my contact info, and so.
Anything happened with that or no?
Future. Oh, this is literally just a couple days ago. So he went away for some shoot, but I have his Instagram and stuff, so we can be in touch.
Get your knee pads ready, buddy. Okay.
That's not right.
Suck it off.
He doesn't do that kind of work.
Hey,
listen.
Got to get somewhere. Okay.
AJ, thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
It's been nice to get to know you.
Absolutely, I had a blast. We have to have you on the cookie jar one day.
Yes.
The cookie jar already.
And this was actually Dr. A. I don't know why I said DJ. It's DRA. So Dr. A.
Dr. A. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.